Because I mean, I don't have a problem with Nick Sirianni and how he does and conducts his business. They still believe in him.
Absolutely.
What happened last year, I think, was an anomaly. It won't happen again. He'll be able to hold the reins. And evidently, the players believed in him because I'm sure that Mr. Lurie, you know what I'm saying, Lurie's like, look, I'm about to let you go. You got to really convince me
you better
that
tell
you
me
should
something.
be the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So whatever he said, he convinced him to be the guy.
Absolutely, man. And it's my opinion that if it wasn't for Sirianni last year, then that locker room would have been fractured.
Yeah.
It would have been a serious problem. But I think because all of those guys have such respect for Sirianni, he is a true player's coach.
Yeah.
And he can relate. And once again, listening to social media and these media heads on the TV, they expect one thing and they don't really understand what happens in the locker room. They don't really understand the dynamic that happens in the locker room. It's a whole different beast than these people think. And they don't get it. And they want something that they really don't want. Even the whole situation is like that whole thing about they didn't like Jalen's personality. I was like, the last thing you want, the very last thing you want is if your starting quarterback is fake. That's the last thing you want. So, but
you don't want somebody that's gonna feed you BS.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You want somebody that's gonna tell you the truth, shoot you straight. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I could trust. Like, it's a perfect example. I played for the Detroit Lions. My first year, made the playoffs. We played pretty well. My second year, bro, we were winning, man. We were like, I'm not, I don't know for sure what our record was, but I think we were around about 6-2. But Bobby Ross had lost the team. He had lost the team.
I remember you telling me,
and he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it, man. He lost the team, man. I remember we were going to play the Green Bay Packers. And it was snow on the ground, and we outside in Detroit, practicing outside. Guys walking around, jumping off sides. You didn't know where the lines were and everything. So he called the practice. Wait a minute. Stop the practice. He stopped the practice. Guys walked up to him, and he was like, what are you walking for? And guys kept walking. I'm like, oh, they just kept walking. He's like, guys, what's going on? We don't know. It's just take it in. And on our way in, Robert Porcher and Herman Moore turned around. Hey, that means we ain't got to go to meetings too, right? He just fell face first into the snow, Coach Ross. And he couldn't handle it, man. He had lost the team. So he came in the next day. He said, look, guys, I don't know when I lost the team, but I lost it. And he said, for health reasons, I can no longer be the head coach of the Detroit Lions. And Gary Moeller, former Michigan head coach, became our head coach, man, from that point on. Yeah. So you can't lie to guys, and I think that's what they were saying. They were saying he had lied to guys so much that he lost the team, and nobody believed in what he was saying. So from that point on, he wasn't our head coach anymore, man. He just left, man, and Gary Moeller became our coach.
Yeah, man, and the pressure is still the same. On top of now, you got social media tracking your every move, thought, comment. Everybody got receipts.
Right.
So you have that whole aspect of it, and you got to be super careful on what you say. So just from that standpoint of it, man, it's like, you know what? When you look at everybody else and what's going on across the league, man, Sirianni doing all right.
Right.